friends. So today I wanted to work on some what I call moonlight cards. So I don't know if you can see this too well, but the other day we were taking a walk very early in the morning, and the moon was shining down, and you can see how it makes that little shimmer coming down off the water. And I thought, boy, that would be fun to make a card that kind of captured that. So to do that, you need just to start with a plain sheet of white or even vanilla cardstock. And this works really well with the scene cards. So this, or scene stamp. So this is the waterfront. And there's also, I think, a snow front. There's a mountain air. There's a number of them that have all the different pieces in it for making a scene. So I always start first by stamping whatever I think is going to be in the center. So let's make one that's going to be mountains. I'll stamp it twice so I can kind of get the other mountains in the background. I inked this pad and it's much darker. Okay, so that kind of gives me a mountain scene. And then maybe I will make also a beachy scene. So I'm going to use this to be like my sand. And I'm using the brown as opposed to a lighter color because as it gets dark, either early in the morning or later at night, of course, everything looks much darker. Okay, and then beyond that, I don't know, maybe I'll do one that's a little bit of land and a little bit of mountain. Okay, so again, I'm just stamping what I want in the center. So to be my kind of my focal point. And typically with these, I do go twice so that I get the lighter image in the background. This ink pad is very juicy. Okay, so on the beachy scene, I think I'm going to give it palm trees. And I'm just trying to kind of get some in there. Okay, again, I'm doing everything in brown. Now I put the little tops of the palm trees somewhere. I put them right close so that I wouldn't lose them, and then of course I lose them. So I'm not right over top of these, so we're gonna hope that they line up. They're not doing too bad. Okay, so there's my beachy scene. Over here in the mountain scene, I think maybe I'll put some, I'll leave these mountains by them, alone, the way that they are. And on these other ones, I think I might put some of the pine trees. Okay, so those will be way up in the front. All right. Kind of, that would be the mountains in the background. Okay. So again, you can put whatever scene thing you want. I would put it right through the middle. And then you're going to take a dark blue. I like using Night of Navy. Okay, and I'm going to just stamp the water. And I'm going to stamp it on both sides. Okay, so I don't want to get a lot in the middle. Let's see if I've got enough ink on this. Of course, this pad is not nearly as juicy as the other one was. All right, so I'm going to do it a couple of times. Okay. Way because I'm gonna leave, again, I'm trying to leave the center kind of, I want them pieces to come in here, but I want the center to be lighter. Okay, do the same thing with the beach. I think I could have inked that navy pad a little more like I did the suede. Okay, again, I'm leaving my center kind of white, and I'll do it over here with the mountains also. Okay. Need to stagger them a little bit more. But you don't want everything to be lined up. Nothing would really be that even in real life. Okay. All right, so now we've got the beginnings of our Moonlight card. All right, so then if you will take just a piece of scrap paper and cut a circle out. Sometimes if you're trying to get like a yellow sun or something, you would use this side to make the sun. But since I want the moon and I want the moon to be white, I'm going to take a piece from my Post-it note so that I can hold this down, and I think I want the moon to be right there. All right, so then I'm just going to take my blue with the sponge, and I'm going to sponge around the circle. Okay, and this, you're going to put this wherever you want the moon to be. So now, see, I have a moon. You can see it's kind of the startings of a really cool card. Let's do the same thing on this one. They really go together pretty quickly. You'd be surprised. And you don't have to worry about the colors because you're really just using a brown and a blue. You can make it as dark or as light as you want. Okay, now I've got the moon. Can you see it already, how it's just really picking that up? The little Post-it note on there is just helping the circle not to move while I'm sponging. If you just want to hold it with your hand, that's fine too. You can put it down with some washi tape. Okay. So again, look there. Now, it's cool like this. You could put your words on here, you could do whatever, but I always like to add just a little more. And by adding, to me, a little bit of the brown here, the soft suede, I just like to put some little dots. I don't know why I like this. I've seen it on cards, and I just think it, I don't know, it kind of softens it or something. You can leave that step out. As a matter of fact, I'll leave it out on that one. But it's just something that I like to do. I just think if you have it, that it adds a little bit of interest to this. Okay, so now you can take your blue with the sponge again, and if you want to fill in a little more color down here, you know, if you don't think you quite have enough, you can kind of fill in some of that. And that gives you the stamped part, gives you the sponged part. Okay, with very little effort now, except I've made a little boo-boo there, I have 3 really cool Moonlight cards. Now, as a last step, if you want to, you can take your Wink of Stella and you can color in on where the moon is and also right down the center here. And that will dry so that it doesn't look so smeary. Okay, and then you have the card with the moonlight, and I have a finished one here that I did. I did this one with the palm trees and the little houses and the water, and I popped up the words here, and I have the Wink of Stella on this one also. So very, very easy Moonlight card. The other one, as we get into the fall, of course, is to think about Halloween. So I'm going to start with a piece of yellow this time because I want a big piece of, or a big bright yellow moon. okay, on this one. So again, for this one, I'm going to take my little Post-it note. On this one, I'm going to do the moon first. And I'm going to sponge this one in purple as opposed to blue. And this pad is very juicy. So, excuse me. And I'm just sponging all around. Again, you can make it as light or as dark as you want. You could use any purple, you could use a brown, you could use a blue. It just really kind of depends on the colors that you have. All right. And I would make my moon here. Lift this off. Lift that off. Okay, so now I've got a big yellow harvest moon. Now I don't like it to be just plain, so I normally go back and just dot it a little tiny bit with my sponge so that it's not quite so stark. Okay? Now, you could stamp any image on here. I'm going to choose to use a little fence, and you could put a bat up here. You could put a witch or a broom or something like that. But for this one, I think I'm actually going to use a witch's hat. And this is from a set that I've had for a while. Take that off. And I'm going to stamp the hat in black. And I had the black pad out. There it is. And again, when you're stamping in black, you want to make sure you've got it all inked up. So I'm going to move my fence because I want the hat, excuse me, right there on the side. Okay, cool witch's hat. I would then put my fence here so it's like the hat is sitting on the fence. You could add your Happy Halloween at the top. I chose the Blackberry Bliss card base, and I just did a spider web and then just set that right on top of there with the Happy Halloween. I've got another one here that I did with the skeleton instead, holding out his hand, and put the Happy Halloween on there. So whether you're making a spooky card like you would for Halloween, or whether you're making a very serene mountain or beach scene with the moon, I think that this is a very easy card. You see, I made like 4 or 5 of them in no time at all. So I hope that you're staying at home safe and everybody's doing well, and I appreciate your time. Have a great day.